Hey guys, Collectible Squash here, coming at you with the first in my nightly vlogs series. And this isn't actually going to be something that I do every night, but more so it's just a series that's a little bit more casual. It's going to be kind of like a set of videos that is more like a conversation. It's a little bit more raw and a little bit less structured than my sort of main content. So this is more just unscripted, just kind of talking before bed. So, the story that I want to talk about today, that I want to tell you guys about, is my first counterfeit experience with Magic the Gathering. So I put an ad up the other day on the internet, and I posted basically an ad that said, I'm bored, I have injuries, and I'd love to look through some people's Magic the Gathering collections and give them an offer if they would be interested. And I got my first bite today. Somebody messaged me and they came over and showed me their collection, and it had a couple counterfeits in it, which I was very surprised about because this is only the second collection that I've ever looked at, and I didn't think that counterfeits would be that prevalent, and maybe I was wrong. I mean, this is kind of too small of a sample size to conclude anything about how prevalent, I guess, counterfeits are in Magic the Gathering and in collection buying, but I was just very surprised, and I guess it's kind of bad, but I was also kind of excited. I was quite excited because I've done a lot of research in the past year or so on counterfeit detection and counterfeits in general and the different tests that I can do. I invested in some equipment, I guess you could say. I bought a jeweler's loop. I'll show you what this looks like here for viewing cards close up. It's like a magnifying glass. You can see. I don't know if it's focusing there. Oh, look at that. And a pocket microscope, which is really cool. I got it on Amazon for about 25 bucks. And this I overpaid for. I shouldn't have got such a high quality one. I didn't really need something this high quality. Paid about 50 bucks for it. But both of these, the cost of both of these paid off today when I discovered two counterfeits in a collection that I was thinking of buying, which had a total value of $100. And so if I didn't really have any knowledge about counterfeits and I thought the cards were real, I may have overpaid for the collection and essentially lost $100 worth of cards that I would have thought that I was getting. And so yeah, let's talk about that. The cards were Dark Confidant from Modern Masters and Phyrexian Obliterator. And when I first felt the cards, I just thought, I'll show you actually, he gave me one of them. I just thought these feel a little bit waxy. You know, that their condition is really good, but they just seem a little off. And I show you kind of the card a little bit close up here. I almost felt like I was handling a alternate 4th edition card, which was sort of like a different print run of Magic the Gathering cards, which was temporary and a long time ago. And so I just thought, well, why don't I just investigate a little bit further? Sorry, investigate. Gotta stop mumbling. And I took the pocket microscope at it. And what I do is generally one of the most conclusive tests I find is the green dot test, in which you look at the green dot on the back of the Magic card and see if it has a pattern which is identifiable on all Magic the Gathering cards all the way back to Alpha, which was the first set ever made. And yeah, it totally failed that test, like, really bad. And I was very surprised, you know, but a little bit excited also, because this, in some ways, was almost kind of like the culmination of all this time and effort and research spent on counterfeit detection, and I've looked at so many cards. I've performed these counterfeit tests, including the light test as well, which if you're not familiar with counterfeit tests, I'll maybe go over that in another video, but that would take a long time to go through, so I'm not going to talk about that here. But yeah, I performed these tests so many times, and every card that I did them on passed the tests. And so, you know, at a certain point you almost start kind of thinking, like, are these tests really working, or are the counterfeits just so good that they are now passing these tests? And, you know, I didn't really think that. I kind of just figured, well, all the cards that I looked at have been real, and I still think that that is the case. But it was really sort of almost just, I guess, concretizing, I know that's not a word, but just really cementing the fact that these counterfeits do really exist, and these tests do, I mean, to my knowledge, they do work. It did weed out these counterfeits, and so it's been really interesting and sort of enlightening. And yeah, and I was surprised he let me keep the card. That was very nice of him, very trusting of him that I knew my stuff well enough to correctly 100% identify this fake, that he didn't even want to bring it to, you know, a different store or something like that. And so he just like gave it to me, and I wrote fake on the card so that he wouldn't just think I'm trying to like tell him it's a counterfeit so I could steal it from him. But yeah, all in all, it was eye-opening as to the amount of counterfeits out there, I guess, and maybe just how bad it's got with these Chinese counterfeits. And so, yeah, I hope this video was something interesting for those of you who maybe are worried about counterfeits, who are thinking of buying collections. You know, it's very buyer beware. You definitely have to be aware of these things now and know the telltale signs, kind of get used to the feel of magic cards, and have the tools with you in case the situation does come up where you're a little suspicious about a card, because it could come back to bite you in a very high dollar amount. And I mean, as you can see here with me today, the cost of the pocket microscope and the jeweler's loupe has very much paid off, in a sense. I didn't end up buying the collection. It was just a little bit, I had a bad taste in my mouth. It wasn't a bad collection. It had a fair amount of old stuff from Ice Age. Not that Ice Age is like a super awesome old set with a lot of expensive cards in it, but it just a fair amount of cool old stuff, and I just didn't end up wanting it in the end, because I just thought, oh, what if there's more counterfeits in this collection? That's just kind of a hassle. But at the end of the day, I'm very glad that I had the knowledge and that I was able to figure out that there were these counterfeits in the collection. And on top of that too, I potentially saved somebody else because I educated the guy who was selling the cards. So I potentially prevented these from going in the hands of somebody else less knowledgeable, which is great. So yeah, anyway, once again, I hope this was a helpful video, and you know, if you enjoyed the video, please leave a comment. If you didn't enjoy the video, please leave a comment. I'm always looking to improve my content, and especially in the beginning, as I'm sort of just creating this channel and making my first few videos. I definitely would love to hear what you guys would like to see more of, what you'd like to see less of, you know, all that sort of stuff. And yeah, like I said, I'm always looking to improve, so do let me know. Definitely get in touch with me. In case you haven't seen my first video, I have a bit of an injury where I'm not going to get into it in this video. I can't use my arms too much for operating a computer. So I can't use a computer for more than, say, like 15 minutes a day. So with this whole channel, I'm really going to be trying to avoid video editing as much as I can. And so all of the videos are going to be kind of more raw. If you guys leave comments in the comment section, I probably won't reply, because that will require typing and is going to irritate my arms a little bit. And but if there's a lot of questions, I will definitely consider making a video response and replying to your comments in video form. So yeah, definitely love to hear from you guys. If anybody actually ends up watching this video, which I don't know if they will, since it's just like the second video on the channel. But yeah, and I will see you guys in the next video. Have a good day.